Okay, today it's December 9th. We're looking at the accumulation distribution for this week. IBD actually signaled two distribution days, one on NASDAQ on Monday and one on Wednesday for S&P. On my personal portfolio, I actually had the highest drop in value on that day since this rally began, so since November 1st. So I was a little bit shocked with that. So that day, yeah, there's lots of selling, and that really gave me a little bit of a pause. But the market did try to close strong at the end on Friday, so that was the good part of this week. But otherwise, if you look back, like say Monday to Thursday, the accumulation is okay. It's not like super strong, like it started off strong on Monday, but even that day, like I said, there's a distribution, and then Tuesday it got really weak, and then Wednesday, it was okay, but like I said, a lot of leaders got hit. And then Thursday and Friday it's almost similar numbers here. And then overall you can see the number of stocks being accumulated is still more than distributed, so that's the good sign. Same with the industry groups. So overall it's still healthy, like like I said, especially Friday, end of the week, it always, you want to see it end higher. You can see the comments here by IBD, like 3 weeks ago stocks end mostly positive with weekly gains, and then 2 weeks ago stocks end another week winning week higher, and then you can see this Friday stock gains to end week solid higher. So during the week usually you get lots of volatility, especially this last week, but overall the market did close strong. So we go look at the weekly chart on NASDAQ. You can see where it is, like and like I said, you can see the bar range on this week. It actually undercut the previous 2 weeks, which is interesting. We go look at daily. So it was Monday, right? Monday was the undercut day, so it undercut, like, well, pretty close, maybe not quite, but pretty close. So that's where it found support, and then it bounced. So right now we're getting closer and closer to this high here in July, 1446, and we are 14403. So it's like 40 points away. That's like almost like 0.5%, not even. So yeah, so we break through that, then we might, there's this level here, 14646. That's 200 points away, 250 points away. Yeah, if we break through that, then we might be heading for this at the top here, 16,000. So that's the good point right here. So, well, first we have to break through this level first. Yeah, we'll look at part of this recent, like the good news is, like, a lot of people recognize this, how tight this is on the index, like 2 weeks consolidation, and we're gonna see something similar on the mega cap, so we'll look at that. So that's good. Okay, let's go to S&P. So S&P is like, it's only a few points away from a recent high here, and then similar again, also 200 points away from the all-time high. So so if we clear this one, then there's a high chance it's gonna go to the all-time high here. And then Dow. So Dow already cleared this. Like right now, Dow has the strongest chart, which is kind of surprising, but it does, and it's already going for the all-time high here. So, yeah, that's interesting because Dow has 30 large cap stocks in different areas. So again, this rally is starting to be like more broad based, and which is a good sign, right? Which is a good sign because you don't want just some stocks to lead, but then the rest kind of fall behind. But now we're seeing a lot of the value stocks catch up, things that have been beaten down, or stuff like that. So yeah, so that was like super strong, which is again very surprising. But at the same time, yeah, because it's not far from an all-time high now, right? Like it's quite interesting. You see. So yeah, so because usually the index, they ultimately kind of converge together, right? Usually, and that's a good sign because that means that they're all acting well. All the different representations are playing their part. Large caps, medium caps, small caps, growth stocks, and value stocks, right? So that's what you want to see. And right now, Dow, which is kind of represent mostly large caps, but at least on growth and value is doing well. So for Russell, it's pretty clear even on weekly chart. The 2000 is the strongest resistance level. We climbed back almost halfway now, more than halfway now. So that's good. That's good news for small caps. So again, it's gonna come to this level. Again, this is the lagging index right now, probably the worst index of all four. And then what again, I don't know. My guess is like it's gonna get there by end of year, and then New Year. That's my guess. My guess is that all the other three index will get to the new high, either break it or pretty close to it, and then Russell will get to this 2000 level by year end, which is quite a bit, 120 points away. And then New Year, it's gonna be a new challenge, and it's gonna be a lot of predictions and what's gonna happen, and then investors might get nervous first half of January, and then it might continue to rally after that. That's my guess. I don't know. So on the daily chart, it's probably a very volatile chart, right? It's one of the most volatile chart I've ever seen. Like, I mean, in general, it's always volatile, but this is like really, really volatile. So this is the trend line on both the low range and the high range. It's pretty steep slope. It's still going on an uptrend, and it's holding recent level like above the 200-day line. So yeah, it's looking really good. Like this looks like it wants to go higher. Like I say, it might go all the way to 2000 here by year end, which is pretty good. Like I said, this is 120 points away, which is like, I don't know, 6-7% away, which is pretty good if it can go that far. And then New Year, if it does get there, then it'll be a new challenge, 2000 for next year. If this rally were to continue strong, going at this speed, yes, then we will hit it, and then most likely it will consolidate here near the 2000 level before it kind of take off. That's kind of my guess here. I don't think it will just break through that easily, just because this is such a strong resistance level. This is, it's been 3 times it fell apart now. So we might have one more test. Maybe this test will fail, but then it will kind of recover quickly and break through. That's my hope anyway. A lot of people are, like when I go to other meetups, it seems like a lot of people are playing small caps now, which is great. The only problem like with small caps, like for me anyway, is a lot of them are very illiquid. So it's very hard to hold, right? Small cap, it kind of fluctuate quite a bit, but of course you have more risk, but you also can have faster reward kind of thing. Yeah, so looking at the 10-year Treasury yield, like it's on a weekly chart, you can see the downtrend is pretty steep by 45-degree angle, and it has been rejected many times now at near 10 and 21 day. So now it's see Friday, which is also surprising. It kind of bounced back. And it came pretty low. I think it was like lowest was 4.12 or something. So again, really close to this 4% level. If this continued to go down, then yeah, like I think market will continue to rally. So this is very strong correlation with especially with the Nasdaq index. Yeah, like no one talked about it this week, but oil really took a tumble this week. It hit a new low. I think on the WTI it went as low as 68 or something. So yeah, but it did also bounce back on Friday. Interesting. And then we have the US dollar. So the US dollar is kind of bouncing back right now, which is kind of weird. But so this is something like again, like it was on a downtrend, but it broke that downtrend, and now this one has been bouncing back, the US dollar. So not sure what that means, because usually US dollar and the oil are quite correlated. So whether oil might bounce back here at this level, there's a high possibility, which may mean stocks might again, the correlation has been like the strongest with the 10-year yield, like the opposite of it, and then also somewhat correlate to dollar and the oil. So this may be a bad sign for the market if this is continued, but who knows? Because there's the 50-day line right here, so if it finds resistance there, maybe it'll go back down, and then that also will give the stock market another win. But yeah, so this week, like I said, we saw 2 distribution days. So this could be a part of the reason as well. Like, people are a little bit nervous, taking, selling some. We'll look at the IBD newspaper here. The S&P accumulation distribution is at B, which is pretty good. And here is the advanced decline line here on the NYC. And you can see it's kind of bouncing back right now, which is good sign. And then on the Nasdaq, it's a little bit, not as strong. It's kind of flat. So Nasdaq has been always, like I said, the weakest on the advanced decline line, which is not a good sign as far as leadership goes. So, we kind of close at the top here on this range, on this recent weeks, but again, advanced decline line didn't show that sign. So yeah, so that's that one. Yeah, the CN greed index is at 68. So if I go to the timeline, this is where we at. Yeah, like you can see, we have been kind of bouncing back and forth in the last 2 weeks, but we're still not at extreme greed yet, so maybe there's still some room to move. But some of these indicators are now extreme greed. So market momentum, price strength, volume, McLaren volume. Okay, put and call options. This one usually are quite a good indicator. If lots of people are buying puts, then they're not. This is put call ratio, right? So if the put is at the low end on the ratio, that means that people are are like pretty, bullish in the sense. So we're getting very close now, I think. Volatility is really low. Like right now they say it's neutral, but you can see it's pretty low. I don't know why they say it's neutral. Then the junk bond, there's lots of fear on that. And then the safe haven. Yeah, so it's kind of, like we're getting pretty close to. But sometimes, the greediness can happen for longer than most people think. So here is the week ending December 6th on the AAII. So consumer sentiment here is 47 versus 48 last week. So it dropped only 1%. But the bearishness jumped from 19 to 27. So that's a big jump. That's actually higher than 2 weeks ago. Interesting. So so that's the thing, right? If people all of a sudden things pull back or something is coming, it might not happen, right? Because you can see how many people think the same thing, right? So yeah, so that's also interesting, like, because so it's because my I think last week I said maybe the first 2 weeks are gonna be negative, and then we have the last 2 weeks positive on December, but it looks like right now, at least based on current 1 week so far, is positive this week. So who knows? We might have 2 positive weeks and then 2 negative weeks, or maybe we're gonna have four more weeks of positive. Who knows, right? So, as far as I know, the calendar is pretty, not too crazy. I guess the biggest thing is the Fed decision on Wednesday, and PPI on the same day. So that day will be a lot of news. Oh, okay, we do have core CPI on Tuesday. So Tuesday will be kind of foreshadow Wednesday, I think. Because I don't think the Fed will say anything new. So really, it's forecast to be 0% growth. So no jump in CPI. Core CPI jump 0.3% estimate. Year over year. So it will drop from 3.2 to 3. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously everyone wants to see a 2 handle. If it goes down to 2.9, probably we'll see a rally. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. The core CPI is still at 4%. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. And then we'll have the Fed decision on Wednesday. But yeah, so I think Tuesday will be a very important day for the market. And then some jobless claims every Thursday, and Friday we have the manufacturing. So 97% no change, I think. Yeah, 525. In January, let's see what the numbers. 93%, that's pretty high, no change. So this is March. So March now is like, not change is 53% now. And then change, like, rate decrease is 43%. So this one has come back up to no change. So I believe last week it was a little bit higher. So it has kind of reversed again. Interesting. And then May definitely there's a cut if it hasn't happened by March. So yeah, it's either March or May. So the market is kind of undecided between the two months here, the 2 times when it's gonna happen. Let's look at Atlanta Fed GDP. So it's still at it's still at 1.2%. So yeah, it's still a little bit high, I guess. Low, I mean. So hopefully it'll come back. Actually, so let's look at the mega caps right now. Nvidia you can see kind of pulling back for the last, couple of weeks. Friday, there's no volume, but it make a breakthrough on the 10-day. Relative strength jump here. So it's a very clean breakthrough of the 10-day. So I did take a new position in it. So I didn't have any. So this looked like a nice double bottom. The breakout fell here. Basically, it did fail. Pull back one more time. And this time it breaks out again on the 10-day. On the weekly chart, you can also see it kind of bounce off the red line, which is the 10-week moving average. So it did so right here, it found support right there. So yeah, especially for institution quality stock, on an uptrend, that's what usually happens, is that they will come in and support the stock at 50-day or the 10-week. And that's exactly what we see. The only problem is the volume is not there. So yeah, so that's the only caveat. But I think, in general, I mean, even here, right, you can see from this run right here, there wasn't much volume in here. So I'm not sure what's happening. There's only one day of higher volume. So Tesla, after the last, the week before the announcement of the Cybertruck, it pulled back on that. Whereas I guess there's some disappointment on the news there. But then this week is holding pretty tight. So that's a good sign. I mean,
It's considering, look at that range, from the number.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's been like kind of going sideways, right? Yeah, it's pretty tight. So yeah, not sure what this means, but I mean, relative strength is kind of flat. So just like the chart, so nothing changed there. I still think the downtrend is still in play here. It's getting closer and closer to trying to break out. But yeah, so we'll see if that happens. Yeah, because I think if it happens, it will be probably a big day, like 5% or more. Well, same thing with Microsoft. Microsoft chart looks pretty good. It's just similar to Nvidia. It has a double bottom base, broke out, but then now it's pulling back one more time, and it pulls back exactly to the buy point here. That's pretty common. And then kind of same thing, kind of rebound on Monday. So Monday was the low here. And then Friday, it closed above the 10-day. Again, volume is not there, so that's why I'm still a little bit cautious about this. If it does bounce back. Yeah, again, the large cap, the relative strength are at best like flat, compared to our S&P. So that's another thing I'm not liking, because it's usually, if these guys bounce back, they tend to lead the market, but they're not, right? Even though this whole week they're kind of trying to bounce back, it hasn't lead the market. So, but I'm gonna go to one stock that kind of surprised everybody. It was Google. So Google has a strong bounce back. You can see this jump right here on the RS rating. So this is probably, one of the 7 mega cap that did pretty good this week. I mean, look at it, right? This is a nice cup. The handle is a little bit deep, but the speed at which it recovered, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and now we going for the new high. It just shows strength, even though Friday is a down day, but still, it's just shows strength. It's just how the speed of which it recovers really surprised me. So I also took a position on Google this week. Let's see how that goes. Obviously, they announced they're gonna be releasing Gemini right there. large language model soon. So market seems to like it. But on the weekly chart, the relative strength is still weak. But but this week is like I said, it's a little bit different. So on the daily chart, you can see like this is probably the relative strength line, and like it recovered pretty fast after this drop right here. So I think it has potential. It hasn't really officially break out yet, so the breakout point is probably around there.
Even Amazon is, yeah.
Yeah, I think Amazon, I mean, the relative strength has been kind of flat. You know, the lows are kind of going higher. Like they're very subtle, but they are going higher lows. It is having a problem trying to break out. So it's just getting tighter and tighter. My worry is, I said, my worry is that if last week was a precursor of like pullback, because we got 2 distribution days, and who knows, we might get another 2 distribution days this week. Then I guess you can also look at the opposite, right? Like we had 2 distribution days, but the mega caps like this one is holding up, right? So you can look at it that way too. But at the same time, I'm more worried that that if we get more distribution days, they're gonna start to fall apart. That's what I'm worried about. Because they're having a hard time breaking through here. Like this is having a hard time. Yeah. So that's that one. Apple. Yeah, Apple really surprised everyone. I think it was the headline news, right? It surpassed 3 trillion market cap again. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Apple. It just broke out of this nice cup with handle base. Look at that. Look at how nice this is. It's a nice clean breakout. After it breaks out, it never came back to 10-day. This is a quality breakout. Yeah, it's not on my radar because, like I said, this one has lower earnings guidance. So, but it is breaking out nicely. So, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, talking about Apple, yeah, Charlie Munger, he's actually the one who convinced Warren Buffett to buy this stock. So IBD wrote an article about him, saying how Warren Buffett is a value investor, right? Everyone knows that. But Munger, he buys stocks at like good growth stocks, or I don't know if you call it growth stock, but like good stocks at a fair price, right? And many years ago, he convinced Warren Buffett to buy this stock, and now it's 53% of their portfolio. That's how big it is. Apple, 53%. That's crazy, right?
Wow.
Yeah, because it has gone up a lot, and it has just accumulated for them, and now it has become a big, like, that's a big position in their whole portfolio. So yeah, looks like with their support, this stock has still has room to go because they're not dumping their shares. So yeah. So Netflix was one of the stronger stock as well, but now it has 2 weeks of pullback, and the problem with this chart right now is not only the relative strength heading lower, but it looks like it's just having a downtrend line on this 10-day right now, which is very steep, right? So that's the only problem with this stock. Like I don't know how far it will fall, whether it will hit the 50-day line right here and bounce. I'm not sure, but right now it doesn't look good. Yeah. Just a recap on the week. Like Tuesday we have job openings. And I'm not just surprised this week, but like how it behaved, because the market, like I said, they have 2 distribution days. The job openings was really weak, like 8.73 versus 9.4. So you would think that's really good news for the market. Wednesday, I mean the 10-year yield like dropped. I know it went as low as 4.12 this week. So that's another thing. You would think the market would be super bullish, but it wasn't. Oil, again, same thing. It hit like 68 at the lowest. Again, you would think the market would be flying this week, at least the growth stocks, right, when I say. But it's not. Thursday, we had jobless claims. It's almost the same number. Not much difference. So yeah, so like I personally find this week a little bit more disappointing, despite where we're at. And like I said earlier, Wednesday was my biggest day loss so far in this rally, which also, like I did gain it back on Thursday and Friday, but I just find that weird. Like maybe it's just a one-day thing. On Friday, Tom Lee, he kind of made his prediction for next year. He's a big fan of small caps next year, financial second, industrials third, and technology can still outperform the general market, but he doesn't think it will lead anymore. So that's his forecast. Last year, he made the technology, especially big cap. He even said last year, I remember very clearly, he said that will lead the market, and he is correct. And then in general, the technology also lead the market, so he was correct on that too. I can't remember. I think the second one was industrials, and health was number 3. Okay, so I think he picked health. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, so technology he got it right big time. But this year he completely shift. He thinks small caps will lead in the new year. So so we'll see. Like, for that to happen, that means the Russell had to break 2,000. So that's the key there, I think. So I ranked this based on relative strength on the daily chart and weekly chart. Abercrombie and Fitch continue to lead, and new highs there. MSTR is MicroStrategy, doing pretty well. Affirm, Coinbase, those two have been doing really spectacular recent weeks. ReRT still dominate at the top there. Gaps, GPS, doing really well. I missed this, I think. CrowdStrike is still up there. G3. So one thing I noticed, a lot of apparel clothing stores are now starting to move up the rank. So G3 is the latest one. This one is specialized in shoes. Modin, so industrial still doing well. Uber, Nvidia. So Nvidia has come back up again, like I said, we saw earlier. Royal Caribbean, I think this one surprised a lot of people how well it's doing. DoorDash, Palo Alto, ServiceNow, Pinterest, Expedia, Sterling. Again, this is apparel shoes. This is another one, PVH, that I miss. Lily starting to bounce back, although NBO, Novartis hasn't bounced back much yet, which is weird because they usually move together. ANET also bouncing back. Race, Ferrari, Blackbound Technology, Playbuster, retail restaurant. This is only not like, I think Wings is somewhere, but not many retail restaurants. APG Security, Apollo Finance Investment, Frog Software Enterprise, Globe Tech Service, FedEx. Yeah, FedEx is acting superly strong. Probably, I think it's in the Dow. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember. ISG International Hotel Chain, doing really well. So discretionary is still doing well. Building Heavy Construction, GVA, TT, Machinery, General Industrial, LAUR. So this one has come up as well. MLM, Building Cement, Twilio, Computer Software Enterprise, IDXX, Square, Car, Heating, DY Telecom, IBM Banks. So these are the ones that are kind of like close strong this week. And then the ones that are kind of in the middle range right now is this ones here. Yeah, so SMCI, I'm just reading out some of the stronger ones. ESTC, DraftKings, Spotify. So I took a position in Spotify this week. Palantir, BRBR, Adobe, I think is reporting this week. Informatica, Qualys, Wing, CyberArk, Cobb, Workday, Amazon, already talked about that, Microsoft, Rapid, RD&T. This is a medical stock. I think they supply like home care services. This one is doing really well right now. Google, GitLab, yeah, some of them trying to come back. F5, yeah, F5 is doing okay. And then we have lots of stocks hitting new lows this week. Duolingo, LPG, I done that a couple weeks ago. IoT, Miniso is under pretty substantial correction right now. PDD is starting to fall. ALKT as well. In the software financial, Zscaler also started to fall. Netflix we saw earlier starting to fall. So there's a lot of stocks falling right now. Shopify is falling. Let's just go look at the chart of Shopify, because this was a darling like a week ago. I mean, it's not super bad. It might bounce back. It did try to bounce back right now, so we'll see. Yeah, it's been volatile lately, you know. So, but it's still okay. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. It's just very volatile right now. So maybe if it support, you can support. Like the updates are still strong. You can see that. So maybe this is not, you know, even though it's on this list, it doesn't look as bad. MDB breaking down. So that one is pretty bad this week because of the earnings, right? And you see this break right here. Jim Ropel sold, I think, over 80% of his shares. He probably holds some left to see if he can bounce back on 50-day. Yeah. So I mean, overall, this chart still looks okay, but it did have bad, I think, bad forecast. So that's why it dropped quite a bit. Salesforce, MVO, MPH, Trade, LNW, Cloudflare. Let's look at Cloudflare for a second. Yeah, this one like very similar to Shopify chart. It's kind of like, you know, it's weakening, but it's not like weakened to the point where it's like, you know, the chart looks bad. So, yeah, you know, and volume is going down, so maybe that's a good news. So yeah, so this, yeah, Shopify and Cloudflare might have a chance here. D-Dog, yeah, D-Dog also starting to fall a little bit. Yeah, so you can see now it's under 10-day. So probably this one is weaker than the other two because it couldn't pass back 10-day. So most likely it will fall to 21-day. Unless we have some really strong day on Monday, which then will bounce back, but who knows. XPN tab, Meli. I think Meli is starting to also go down too. So there's a lot of stocks kind of pulling back right now, and this is the part I'm kind of worried about, right? Because it might start slow, but then it can accelerate. So here you go. Again, close to 10-day, hasn't fallen below 10-day. It's just exactly at the 10-day. But the problem is, like I said, the problem is all the relative strength are weakening, meaning like the growth stocks are no longer up, like these stocks are no longer outperforming the market, which is not a good sign, right? So you can see there's lots of stocks at low relative strength. AWAF, I got, you know, basically shaken out of this after the earnings as well. So it was a big drop on the earnings day. It has a, you know, it has a nice breakout and then went up and then, yeah. So it's quite disappointing because I thought they're gonna beat, or at least I think they beat, but they have also a weak forecast. So yeah, so that took me out. Yeah. Let's see what else is there. Monday, so probably similar as Shopify, I would assume. Monday. Yeah, still again. You can see this chart is not as strong as Shopify or Cloudflare, because it hasn't even breaking out, right? But you know, it has similar pattern. So Uber. So Uber chart is really strong. Like, I mean, yeah, I was on another meetup call, and the host there was saying how he think Uber is kind of going to correct. But then, you know, because this reversal is pretty ugly. I did sell some on that day. Just very little. But then, yeah, so the next day it dropped a little bit more, but then it didn't really even touch the 10-day, right? So then it bounced back to the next 3 days and make a new high. So this is really spectacular. So, and then I moved my stop loss up to this level here now. So that's where my stop loss is. And who knows, right? It may have more room to go. I don't know. But yeah, it's a nice breakout so far. 25% gain. Yeah, it's really spectacular. Like, I mean, you look at this whole run right here. This is the closest to 10-day right. That's the closest thing. And it didn't even touch it. And then the next one, this one, like I say, I think a lot of people got nervous here after the negative reversal. I thought I don't remember where my previous stop loss is, but I thought it was gonna get tripped for sure. And then it didn't. I was like, oh. And then it bounced back. Yeah, so this is really nice chart. Like this is gonna be a leader, I think, for sure. As long as this rally continues. So it's definitely one of my top 3 stocks. Yeah, good one. The other one, MicroStrategy, related to Bitcoin, broke out from this cup of handle right here, and then this is the high right here. Yeah, this was consolidation after it breaks out, and then now it's taking off. So now the slope is pretty strong, like 45-degree angle. So this one probably, Jim Ropel mentioned, if this rally continue, he sees 800 as the resistance level because of this right here. So that's a long way, right? That's 25, another $200. That's 33% move from here. So if that happens, yeah, if this continues, Bitcoin continue to strengthen and this rally, it's moving at a really fast pace. You can see this gap up right here. So MicroStrategy is one of those stocks that move fast. Look at this one right here. Look at how fast it runs, right? So like 10 weeks it went up so much. So here,
Yeah.
so this guy is starting to run now. So he's no longer walking, like after this consolidation here. So now we'll see. So this is my best performer right now. I think no, number 2 best performer. I can't remember which one's my number 1 now. Yeah, but this one is doing pretty good. ANF is Abercrombie Fitch. Like I say, I got this party late, but it's still humming along. You know, this is a really strong slope for a 50-day line or 10-week moving average. It's just insane strong. This is the upper channel. It's just going up like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, it's still, you know, and also like even on the daily chart, you can see it hasn't done, like it's starting to, you can see it's starting to curve right here. The 10-day hasn't curved yet. It still look more like a straight line. When it starts to curve, then you know we're getting closer and closer to the end here. So we'll see how far this can go. But right now, it just continue to make higher lows and higher highs, like even though it's trading so tight. Yeah, this stock surprised me a lot how strong it is. This one day was probably the biggest shakeout right here. Yeah, I missed most of this run right here. I think I got in around here. So yeah, VRT, I don't know, man. This name is similar to ANF, has been running for a long time now. it's, you know, built this consolidation, and then now it broke out, and then now again this one is starting to take off as well. So looking really good. So yeah, so this one was a nice one right here. So we'll see if we can do it again. There's something about like some of these guys, electrical guys, they're doing really well this whole year. So caps, yeah, this one also ran wild since their earnings, and I missed the beginning. This big gap right there, you can see the weekly, this 1 day gap, and yeah, I'm late to this party for sure. And yeah, so this one has definitely looked a little bit more climatic chart. It's starting to curve up more. And like I said, there's something about this, some of this consumer related stuff that is really just going wild right now. I don't know why, but they are. So everybody say CloudSide is probably the best security stock, and it's starting, it's proving it, right? I thought that after this upper channel line break, it will slow down. It didn't. Look at this week, it continued.
Wow.
It continued to climb. So now we're at the second leg of this run. You know, we'll probably see climatic run on this one, most likely. It's starting to curve on the 10-day, 50-day. So this one will probably, yeah. So, yeah, I trimmed some right here, but you can see it just keep wanting to make new high. So, yeah, it just doesn't want to stop. So this guy is getting closer to the all-time high already. That's amazing. Let's go to monthly chart. The 300 was the level. Right now it's 240. So that's another 25% or something like that. Yeah, $60. So roughly. So the cruise might be the new thing, right? Who knows? So this guy broke out this week. It's a very clean breakout. Look at the volume on the weekly chart. There's quite a bit of accumulation here. Not like super high, but at least it's like lots of blue walls. Relative line is through the roof right now. This chart, very similar to Uber. Didn't even touch the 10-day line. Like it come close to it, but it never actually touch it. So those are signs of a strong accumulation by somebody. So here's you know, the daily volume that's jumping out, and now it broke out. It's just not looking back anymore. So we'll see how far this goes. ServiceNow is another big cap stock that's doing really well. This was the last test right here. And then kind of tested a little bit here. And then look, it just, you know, this is the sign of leadership. When you have 4 or 5 days of sideways movement, and then all it takes is 1 day to break out. That just shows strength, right? There's just too much demand for it. And even though the volume wasn't even that high, like that just shows there's way less supply than demand. So this is getting close now to, I don't know. Oh yeah, it already break to new high. So this is actually a new high now. So this is really good. 707. Okay, getting $7 away. It's, you know, it's definitely more volatile stock, and it's an older name, but still, like, it's starting to move like different, right? Because you can see from here to here, it just basically did nothing. But then recently, you can see how tight right here. It's trading at the top here, and then boom, you have this 1 week up. And look at it this week again. It's trading really tight again. So this is signs of like someone's trying to buy into this stock as it pulls back. Look at this 10-day hugging hugging the 10-day. Look at that. So it hugs the 10-day, boom, bounce. Right, hug the 10-day, bounce. So there's someone accumulating shares in this, and it's doing really well. It's already up 21% from the breakout. Let's look at ANET. ANET also did something good this week. Look at it. So this has been very tight, and then it pulled back, and just like the rest of the market pulled back. And look at this, 1-day move. It hit new high, right? So that's the sign of like strong demand, right? And maybe also lack of supply, because the volume is not even that high. So that's why I said lack of supply. So it can move a lot because the demand is there, but because of lack of supply, even though the volume is not that high, it booked a new high. So yeah, so this is a really good looking chart. The only problem with this stock I found is like it's very hard to hold because it doesn't move at a fast pace. But who knows, right? Sometimes it takes a while before it starts to run. So this is one of those ones that just keep cruising and cruising, but not crazy. So who knows? Maybe this time will, well, I don't know, run. Yeah. So Blackbound caught my eyes recently. Not many people talk about this stock. There's a huge movement this week. Look at this volume. There's lots of volume lately, and it broke out this week and moved up a lot. Yeah. So this is on my radar right now. It's moving really fast. This is the 10-day slope right now. Yeah. So I'm not sure what the story is. Finance management. So yeah. But Spotify, gone through a big correction. 2022 now we're climbing up pretty fast actually. If you look at this monthly chart, look at this one here. Now the slope is probably stronger. It accelerated this week. I'm not sure if there's news. I think there might be some news. I can't remember now the news because there's a gap up right here. Trading really tight around the 10 days, so that's good news. So it looks like the slope has changed. So as long as you follow this slope, this is what it looks like. Informatica. Still look at, so this one is definitely outperforming. You can see how the chart looks right now, right? Compared to say Shopify earlier, it's still making new highs. Look at Friday's move. It tried to pull back, and then see where it closed, right? So, and then look at the volume, giant volume coming in. This is incredible volume. So, yeah, so this is the previous breakout. It's up 24% right now. Still far away from this high. So who knows how far it'll go. Yeah, Wing actually it's one of my best performance stock. It's definitely in the top 5 for sure. Like it broke out here. It started running after this one, the earnings. And it has climbed since. And yeah, like again, same day, this chart is my support 10-day. Just nice, like just trade nicely. A little bit above the 10-day. And this is the slope of the 10-day, so it's still pretty strong. F5 is not the strongest one, only 82 RS. It did break out, right now pull back and try to bounce again. Volume is drying up, so I don't know if this will work. Let's look at Moody's. This is commercial market research probably for the investment. So this is kind of financial related as well. Look at this support right here. break out nicely. Right now, this slope is pretty strong. It's right here. Another one, I think it's CME. Let's see this one. Okay, this one broken down. You try to break out and then it broke down. So this one didn't work. See, FICO. Okay, this one is still holding really tight. Yeah, still a pretty strong slope. Still near the highs. So this one is still holding pretty good. So CyberR, you can see it riding the 10-day like really tight. And this is really tight. I mean, 3 down days, and it didn't even want to break the 10-day. That's amazing. Look at the volume dry up. This is something to pay attention to. CyberR. I think we talked about this before. Like, even though CrowdStrike is like, you know, the Titan, but this is like the young gun, right? I think this one has a potential. The other one, did we look at this one yet? Rapid. So this one is also trying to break out. So these two are trying to break out. But like I said, CrowdStrike is already getting higher. So that one's. Lab has a good earnings report.
Right.
Broke out on this consolidation here. It's a nice, you know, I mean, this stock has been very volatile from week to week. You can see, right? Look at all the red bars. It's just, you know, it's just very crazy, right? I think, you know, it's hard to hold this stock. But it did break out, nonetheless. And this is a long, you know, lots of consolidation here. It finally breaks through that level. There's still some has resistance right here. So yeah, you know, there's potential, but like I said, this is the hard to hold kind of stock, I think. But it did, you can see the earnings are now positive, versus negative before. So it has turned around. And on the daily, yeah, this chart looks pretty good. Like, it's a clean breakout. It's pulled back to, you know, not close to 10-day. It tries to rebound on Friday. We'll see if this holds. Hard to say. Yeah, but there's potential. So this one reported this week, right? And it was a big volatile day. Overall, it's pretty good. Look, it closed the week like above 10-day, so it's still consolidating. So there's still a, you know, this is a long consolidation now. So if it does break out, there'll be a, you know, potential there.
Is it cup and handle?
Yeah, it was a cup and handle. It broke out, but then it fell, and then now it's trying to come back again. So, but it's very volatile, right? So there's lots of volume. So it looks like the buyers and sellers are fighting right now. Who's gonna win? So I don't know who's gonna win. But yeah, so 90, 91 seems to be like the resistance level. I don't know why this number is so different. $90. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. So close at 86, but then I don't know why after hours is at 90. Was there any news? I don't know if this is accurate. See, it's up after hours. I don't know.
In CNBC it shows like after price.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like something happened. I don't know. Because it looks like it's higher. So like quite a bit higher. Yeah, okay, so $87, not 80. I don't know why this was 80, like 90, but yeah. So it did jump after hours. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyhow, but it's still under the 91. You know, I think the 91. I mean, although it did break out here, but it fell, right? But I think the second time we pass 91 again, there's a high chance of working, right? So Carrington, the air conditioning product, home builder. It's hard to, look at this long relative strength flat, and then it broke up. I don't know. There must be some news. Anyhow, so yeah, so it's a nice clean breakout. So I like it. Highest volume. Every time I see like my IBD has this feature right on MarketSmith, like largest volume, right? So anytime when they break out on the base and it shows like largest volume, it's usually for me like that's a buy signal, because that means that there's so much demand for this stock right now, all of a sudden, right? Especially in the base, because that's where most people have given up, and then it moves on new high, on highest volume. That's what I love. Like usually, because it's still in the base, so it still have room to go. So I like that. So yeah. So that's Carrington. MLM. This one is building cement. Still trading really tight. So this one hasn't come out yet. So a lot of the industrials are doing this right now. Just kind of hovering. MOD, STRL, these are all previous leaders. Let's see. Okay, so this one is starting to move a little bit by bit. See higher lows. See that? Higher highs. So it's starting to move.
I have this. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Like relative strength is hitting again, same thing, right? Really hitting. It's very slight, but it is a little bit higher. So it's starting to move. So who knows? They could move. But like I noticed some of these guys are turning back up right now. What was the other one? STRL Stone. So this is also another previous leader. So you can see this one right here. Okay, so this one is fighting hard, right? You can see it's fighting hard even on Friday. It's at the 50-day line right now. So, if it past 50 days, it's going to move back, I think. So yeah, looking really healthy right now. But again, 50-day is more important. So that might be a challenge. We'll see. But, this was a previous leader as well. FedEx. Did we look at FedEx? Oh, no. FedEx. So what's happening with FedEx? Hey, it's breaking out. It's a large cap shipment company. I don't know if it's a seasonal thing. But it's moving. Volume is okay. It's not superb, but again, this is more like right now. It looks like less sellers, even though the higher volume is not there for the updates. But it's a nice chart. Like it's not crazy, but if it can move 45-degree angle, that'll be nice again. TT, building heating products. So this one's moving. Look at this. It's like tight 3 weeks here, and then boom, when it came out. So volume is there. Look at this volume. Look at those. That's nice. So this chart looking pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, like I'm noticing a lot of this, like building type of company. GVA is another one, heavy construction. So you see, now it's breaking out. It's making new highs, riding the 10-day line. So they're moving right now. So they a lot of them have this pattern, right? Jump a lot from the bottom, and then went sideways for like a few weeks, and then now they're starting to move. So we could see industrials continue to lead in the coming weeks, and we know Dow is like doing really well. I'll just look at CWCO. It's a water supply company, and this has been a leader. Built the space here, broke out, and then got really volatile because of the earnings, and then it started to climb again, and then got hit again. I don't know what the news is. Right now it's kind of living near the danger line. So you can see it's leaving below the 10-day. So a little bit. This one is a little bit weaker. But who knows? This stock has been performing very well this year. Roll, CLS, CMPR, SIB. There's a lot of people talking about SIB. Let's look at this one. This is a little bit more volatile. So this gap up move again. So a lot of industrials have this move, gap up for a few days, and then kind of went sideways. So we'll see if it holds. So that one's a little bit more volatile. CLS. So again, this is electrical. So this one pulled back very tight. Volume is good on the support side, and the down day volumes are not as high. So this looks pretty good. Again, but it hasn't moved yet, this one. So this is the previous run. It's pretty nice right here. Road. Another construction guy. So this one a little bit more choppy, lesser volume, so that's probably why. P card. This is this stock I played it so many times. It was a huge consolidation here. Okay, it looks like it's finally breaking out. Look at this. Yeah, it's very nice. Found support here, very tight around the 10-day. Yeah, so it looks like it's starting to move now, this guy. So it's looking good. The new highs. Yeah, this is no resistance. This is new highs right now. So I think this one has potential to lead. So RS line is going up. Yeah, I like this stock. But every time I play it before, it just didn't work out. But who knows? This time it looks like it's working out now. So I'm behind the ball on this one. I don't have it. We talk about MCO, WAP, transportation. Okay, so this one is trying to break out right now. It did move this week though, but it's trading really tight. So like the previous week volume was really nice. Look at that. So maybe it'll work this one because it's it pulls back on 4 days and the volume like 1 day is kind of sticking out, but it's still trading tight, right? The price. So this might might work. Let's see. So yeah, I'm actually I feel this week like industrials have the highest potential to move going forward. We'll see. Health. I just think I don't have any health, but this one stock like I don't remember where it came from. I never heard of it, but it's doing well. It's called Rhythm Pharmaceutical. Yeah, it's already up 29% from this breakout. And you can see it found support on the 10-day right here. So it looks like you want to test the 10-day again. Look at the volume. There's like nobody wants to sell. Look at that. So it has potential, this one. It's not a high profile name. I don't even remember where I found it. RDNT we talked about. Yeah? RDNT. Yeah, this one breakout this week. Very clean breakout. Here Thursday I tried to test the breakout point. It didn't even come close to it. And then it closed in the middle. Then Friday make slightly new high. So looks good. Very tight. So looks good. So that's exactly what you want to see after it breaks out. It's like just either trading tight or keep making new highs. So one of those two. So it looks good. This one, yeah, you can see the previous run is pretty strong. So this one has potential. And right now the slope is really strong. Look at this slope right now. It's definitely stronger. But we'll see. Yeah. The one that I owned recently, MPH, kind of fall apart. Let's see.
Also recently bought LMPH.
Okay. So M-Star, Empastar. Yeah, so this is the cup and handle. Broke out, it fell back to the 10-day. Now it's below 10-day. So I don't like that. It didn't really, yeah. But the volume is drying, so who knows, right? It still have potential. LNTH. Yeah, so this, I don't know what happened here. But it was doing really well until this week. I guess it found resistance at 200 day, but it did find support at 50 days, so that's a good
Mm-hmm.
sign. Yeah, the wallet is a little bit weaker than I want it to be. So a little bit like normally on the bounce, you want to see higher volume because usually, yeah. But I think it might be range bound right now. So yeah, 200 days is probably the best breakout point right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people talk about CRISPR. That's a Cathy Wood stock. CPSR. I always forget what the symbol is. CRSP. Oh, look at Friday. Wow.
Yeah, actually, it was on the news. There
Oh.
were, yeah,
Yeah, they're supposed to get approved for something, right? Did they actually get approved for
we
the
got
drug?
approval on Friday. Yeah.
Oh, but they will sell the good news kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, this one, yeah, this one, I don't remember why it's not on my list, but I know a lot of people are looking at this stock. Yeah, this volume here is really strong. 4 weeks, you see that? So this could be a buying opportunity, because sometimes, yeah, I know Friday looks bad, but sometimes it could be that 1 day thing. So we'll see. It did close at the 21 days, so it did close like, right at the bottom. But who knows? You could have another big day down.
Mm-hmm.
This stock is like definitely more volatile, right? So, yeah. I don't know why this one is not on my list, but I think, yeah. So this, you see this relative strength line, it's kind of keep hitting new lows. Even before yesterday, it already keep hitting new lows. So that's kind of related to this daily movement here. So it's just not outperforming the market, right? So generally, like I don't want to get into a stock that's not outperforming the market, especially when the stock market is good, right? So you have to think, right? The stock market, uh, we're in a rally right now. Probably, like I said, this week, despite we have two distribution days, we're still in an uptrend. And if you can do well in an uptrend, like for since November 1st, right? Even if did start moving right away. Let's say you start moving even by like end of November. Like, it's okay to be late to the party, but you gotta prove that you work, right? And this guy, it did prove, right? So this is what, November, right? So it did prove it works. So probably, early on would be better if you got in, but then now it's like consolidating, right? So you see, it tests all these lows. So all these people got shaken out. Now we're back to this, 60 was like the previous high was right here. So it hasn't tested that yet. So that's good. So yeah, I would assume this stock could bounce back really fast if it's gonna work. But I don't like the volatility, man, of this stock. It's very hard to hold. Yeah, but a lot of people like the potential of this company. Because they have the gene editing technology. So yeah. So let's move on to the next ago. We talk about how gold might. Well, 1 week ago, the bullion big new high, but it has fallen apart since then. Again, this is a bad thing, right? Like it just every time it just come to that level and then boom, it gets knocked down, and it just happened again this time. So look at this, right? Like Friday was a bad close. Bad. This is AGI, probably one of my favorite to go right now. But it's falling apart. Look at gold stocks, gold shares. Yeah, this is falling apart. Like, I don't like how this is moving. Like, yeah, I know, like I said, I know the bullion broke high last week, but again, the stocks are not moving like as well as the bullion, and also right now we see the resistance again. So looks like maybe this is the last time it will fail. Again, we'll see. Maybe this time it will just I don't know. It already tested the 50-day once, Will it come back to 50-day? Usually it will not. So like I said, we'll see how it trade next week. You gotta bounce back right away. But if it fall, I think people will give up, right? Because they're like, oh, it's happening again. So
Yeah.
so more people will sell this time if it fell again, right? Especially if it break this 50-day line. So we'll see. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah. The goal, like, Jim Ropel likes the potential of this, so he always talk about this. But yeah, until I break this, I think, there's no point playing it because you're just gonna fail every time. So either you get near the low point, you have at least you can make some short money, but long play is not gonna work until it break that clearly in the chart. Yeah, you can see XLF is like breaking to new highs 3 weeks ago, and yeah, so it's climbing to the next level. It's getting close to it now. They're looking pretty good. And if we break that level, yeah, it has a lot more room to go to the, to this high right here. So those are the levels. So yeah, financials definitely have uh, a lot more room you can gain, right? And so that's why a lot of people like financials. Look at this chart. Wow. Look at this. This is amazing.
Wow.
Right? Like this looks like a stock, but it's not a stock. This is an ETF of the whole financial sector. Like this is amazing, right? Look at this 3 days down, drying up in volume. Again, like that's good sign. Like, but Thursday and Friday the rebound is not that strong. But I usually look at the down days more important than the up days because down days is where people usually take action, right? If they're panicked, right? So not many people want to sell, but it was able to move up again on Friday, Thursday, Friday, not on strong volume, but again that could be because of lack of supply, so therefore it moved up even more than usual. So yeah, really good chart XLF. I think this is slowly creeping up to that's why I think more and more analysts are saying financials can lead next year, but who knows, right? Like I really don't know because we have said that so many times. But this time I think it's different because the chart is saying that it's breaking out. Before you see, it broke down after some small run right here. So here's the watch problem here, the watch problems right here. And then it came up, but then it fell because, it takes more time to recover. Oh yeah, I remember telling you last week, BMO starting to buy a lot of financials. They really believe this is it. This is the because I think they bought last time here around April after the fiasco, and it did work out as well because it did fall back. But he said that this time it's gonna work, and so this is a nice uptrend. And who knows if the bull market going to continue, the financials will probably step up the game and take over the lead, right? Let's look at smaller guys, KRE. This one is yeah, it's not as strong, but it's coming to the previous high here as well. So yeah, so again, this one is also in general is acting well, but the XLF is definitely stronger. It's not a bad chart too, but I think the XLF just surprised me actually how the chart looks. Yeah, so financial stocks, let's see if we have any good ones here. Most likely the market is saying that, yeah, the financials will rebound from their earnings perspective. So that's why the stocks are now rebounding. So, yeah, so that could be, but Affirm, since the Black Friday, it just, it really took off, right? Yeah, so it broke out right here. Man, I don't know how I missed it. I have it on my list, but then I just missed this breakout point. And now it's just look at how fast it's running. This is like running, This is like a 60-degree angle, 64%. Wow. Look at the game. That's amazing. In such a short time, right? It's like 10 sessions, man. Credit card. I don't know if they do pay now buy later, but this is Brazilian company. This chart is pretty strong. Look at this.
Yeah.
The water is drying up as it reached the 10-day, so that's good news. We just need to see a bounce. But the volume, look at this volume accumulation. It's just humongous for 2 weeks in a row. It started even here. So did you see right here? Here's the accumulation. And then look at the 4 down days. Trading really tight, hit the 10-day, bounce. So if you see a bounce here, yeah, there might be another chance to get in. Because we broke out, we only 7% broke out so far. So there's potential, but this is a data dollar value stock. So, you know, you can see more volatility.
You didn't put expired